But it's a good question with a very, very easy answer. Here at the aquarium, we feed these sharks on a regularly set schedule. They get fed every other day, or think about 3 to 5 times a week. A very high protein diet and about 10% of their body weight. So if these guys get up to around 150 pounds, well, 10% of that would be about 15 pounds of food every single time they get fed. So they don't have to worry about hunting for their food. They don't have to be opportunistic. So when that happens, their metabolism slows down and they don't get as hungry as they would out in the wild. But how do we feed them? We don't just toss the food out all willy-nilly and hope for the best. The way we feed our sharks is through a process known as target feeding, where we will take a pole, much like this big PVC pipe, where it's all one color with a nice little target on the end. And what we'll do is, when it's time to feed, we'll go up to the second floor, right above where we're at now. There's a nice little area of concrete where we will take this pole and tap it on that concrete 6 times. And what that does is it sends out a noise through the water that the sharks will hear, they'll recognize it, and start swimming up to the surface. And once they start swimming to the surface, we then attach a piece of food they like. Different things like salmon, herring, octopus, squid, even vitamins, because they still have to stay healthy just like us. Then, once we attach that food, let's see if I can get it here. There we go. Once we attach that nice little piece of food, we then lower it down into the water and feed the sharks one by one. And this is also good to know what markers or patterns the sharks have on their body. That way we know who has eaten, who has not. So that way one doesn't get all the reward while the others still have to wait their turn. But out in the wild, the sharks do have to still hunt for their food. They don't know when their next meal is going to be, so they have to be very opportunistic, eating whatever they can, whenever they can. Because they don't know if their meal is going to be later that day, the next day, or even the next week. So they take whatever they can find. So we've actually found some random things inside the shark's stomach. And we found the usual marine life, like crabs, fish, stingrays, mollusks. We've also found some random things inside the shark's stomach. We found things like bodies of armor. We've also found other trash, like license plate, inside the shark's stomach. Now, I understand going after the marine life because it's on their diet, but why in the world would they go after something like bodies of armor or license plates? Well, to start it off, those things are shiny while they're out in the water. They catch a little bit of attention of the shark, where the shark will then swim up to the item, take a bite out of it, and swallow it. Now, unfortunately, the sharks can't digest these items. So as a result, their stomachs will fill up, they'll become malnourished and starve to death. And around a third of all shark and ring species, they are threatened or near threatened. And around 65% of the shark species are threatened to extinction because of fishing alone. But there's things that we can do to help protect them in their natural environment. So that way they can make sure that their environment is healthy for them as well. For instance, we can help them out by volunteering for beach cleanups, going around, picking up trash, throwing it away in its proper receptacles. So that way the trash doesn't wind up out of their home and they think it might be their food. Or even doing what you guys are doing today by visiting an AZA-accredited summer aquarium like the Texas State Aquarium. Because here at the Texas State Aquarium, we're the only location in Texas that can rescue and rehabilitate marine animals such as dolphins, manatees, shorebirds, raptors, and sea turtles. We're also the largest coastal wildlife rescue center in Texas. Now, since 2005, our rescue center has led to over 4,100 animals being released in the wild. And that number is still going up even today because of you guys. Because we're conserving wildlife and promoting science advocates in order to obtain a more resilient Texas Gulf Coast. And with y'all being here, visiting, y'all's ticket purchases and memberships are going towards just that, helping us to conserve and preserve our Texas Gulf Coast for future generations. So for that, I'd like to say thank you one and all for being here at the aquarium. Now, unfortunately, I'm starting to come to the end of my fun little Sharky facts for y'all, but does not mean the fun has to end. It just means if y'all have any questions or curiosities about our sandbar sharks, feel free to come up and ask. I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. But until then, feel free to hang out here as long as you like. Enjoy the view. And when y'all are ready to divide and conquer the rest of the aquarium, feel free to do so. Y'all have some fun, and I'll see y'all around the aquarium today. But thank you, and goodbye for now. Yeah, they think this is try it out. She was sizing y'all up. Actually, not that cool. The way she sizes up is in her mouth. That's her way to see.